Hey, good morning, guys. It's Donald
Mary.
and we're here to bring you your morning weather, water, and trail chatter report. And so this morning, Mary's going to take it away from here and tell us what's going on for weather and water. And then after, we have a little bit of information for trail chatter. All right, guys. Oh, 1 second.
Thank you, Donald. Good morning, everybody. Right now in Blairsville, it's 65 degrees. We have fog, and it is definitely raining outside. You can hear it hitting the roof. We have a high of 80 degrees today with thunderstorms during the morning hours, and then the skies will be partly cloudy. Winds are 5 to 10 miles per hour with a 90% chance of rain. And then tonight, 58 degrees, a few passing clouds. Otherwise, it's going to be clear overnight. 5 to 10 mile per hour winds. Up on Blood Mountain today, we're looking at a high of 73 with patchy fog, showers, and thunderstorms likely before 7 a.m. And then between 7 and 10 a.m., then a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms between 10 a.m. and 12 noon. Then it will be partly sunny. Winds will be 10 to 15 with gusts up to 25 and an 80% chance of rain. Tonight, 58 degrees, mostly clear. 5 to 10 mile per hour with gusts to 25. So plenty of water out there right now still. Again, you should always be, but especially with the higher winds, check those tree branches, limbs, trees, the area around where you're going to set up camp. Want to make sure everybody stays safe. Yesterday, we went and hiked around Project Chimp over in Morganton, and I thought it was awesome. We got to see the chimps from a distance. If you bring binoculars, you'll see them more clearly. But I feel that I saw them pretty good enough with my camera up close. I took some pictures and video, and you could also hear them, and they made some noise. But anyways, now I'm going to turn it over to Donald, and we're going to talk about some other stuff we have going on out here. Donald.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Great job, man. Yeah, Project Chimp was pretty cool, huh?
It was very cool.
Yeah, and it's completely privately funded by multiple, like Kat Von D, the dude from Green Day, Bob Baca, and some other rich folk. But they get no government assistance. They were actually test chimps, and so it was actually, from what I understand, a gorilla.
Yes.
They had gorillas there, but they only had like one or two, and so they turned it into that to the chimp rescue, and they're getting another 100 on top of the 95 they already have. It was super cool.
It sure was. It was a beautiful place.
You know what's kind of funny on video games? Like I've seen monkeys, like I don't remember if it was COD or Halo, what it was, man. But the monkeys like moved real slow, like when they were moving through that little tube there, or the bridge, the sky bridge. But that's how they walked on the video games, and I always thought it was like, man, why are they moving so slow? And then I saw them yesterday walking across the sky, and it looked just like the video game.
Yep. Taking
Didn't
their sweet old time. I believe they can move pretty quick when they want
Right,
to, but
of
I think
course,
when
yeah.
they're not in a hurry, that's just what they do, just kind of.
they're bebopping along? All right, and so we did pick a hiker up at Neil Gap, brought him back to Springer, and they saw two cubs and then one bear between Justice and Blood. Also, the other day, we picked up the dude at Dix Creek
That's right.
that encountered from, where'd we,
He encountered from Whitley Gap Shelter all the way to Unicoi Gap. He said he heard one bear rustling in the woods, and then he saw a mother with two cubs, and then he saw on two separate occasions an individual bear. So that's a lot of bears to see in that short stretch.
well, I'm going to say that might even be the same bear between Justice and Blood, because they work a 20-mile radius area. And that's what I've read anyways.
Right, that's what I've read also.
Yeah.
So.
And so bears will move everywhere. And Jordan's hit a bear right 3 miles from our house and killed it. Sheriffs had to come and well, they killed it.
Yeah,
And then we see bear on the side of the road. We have pictures of it dead right over by Hog Pen.
that's right.
And then there's been a couple times in the last few years. One was actually just in the last like 6 or 7 months. There was a picture of the hog and the bear. I actually have all these pictures and stuff. But the bear are everywhere out here right now. And so I want to talk a little bit about a bag that was, I believe, that was snatched by a bear. Bear don't, and so when I was talking to the mother, and I'm just gonna say this, man, like, I think it was like 3 or 4 days ago, there was a post online about a kid that lost his pack up at possibly Bull Gap. I'm gonna say Bull Gap. She said a mile to 1.5 miles up, but there's no. Bull Gap is 1 mile from Neal Gap. It's an open area. It's really the first open area that you come to where there is water and a place to camp.
That's right.
It's a designated primitive camping. And so I'm going to say that he camped there.
Especially later at night when it's dark, it would make sense to stop at Bull Gap. You have everything you need right there. You know what I mean? I don't know people's hiking plans. I'm just speculating that one makes sense.
Yeah, well, when she said a mile to a point,
Right.
I'm just thinking Bull Gap. Yes. But either way, whether it's Bull Gap or a half a mile up or half a mile before it, one of the primitive, there's another primitive spot before that, a little bit before. But what I'm trying to say is whether or not it was either spot, that bear is going to move 0.5 miles, man. It doesn't matter. And so it's working its way around to places that it knows that it can get possible food in the fire pits because people throw trash in them. I've seen bear rifling through them on numerous occasions when I've run into them walking along in primitive areas. One of them was actually up at Wayabald. Remember that bear, man? Little cub. And so actually Dwight Norris, and that's when we met Kava.
That's right.
And so that bear we got up that morning, walked out of the shelter, and you go down a little bit, and there's a camping area on the left-hand side with a fire ring, and this bear was rifling right through that pit. And we just walked past it, actually, and kept moving. And so, oh, no, wait, I yelled at it, didn't I? I was like, get out.
And stuff. And he just kind of very lackadaisically looked back at you like, really? And he just kind of kept lumbering along.
Right, that's right.
He was in no hurry.
Right. And he looked back to, he's like, moves up a little bit from the firing that he was rifling through and looks back. And I'm like, get out of here. and he moves a little bit further up, and I'm like, yo! Because it was looking back again, and he finally ran off. It was like a bad dog or something, man.
Sure looked like that, or maybe Biscuit when you're telling him to go, do something. He's like, really?
Yeah, he just sits down and looks at me like, no way, dude. And so, the bear man so the woman blamed a crackhead, and people were blaming crackheads and trail pirates. And so my issue with that is yes, there are people out here that will snatch a bag. It's not unheard of. I totally get it, man. I've been here for a long time, and I actually went into that post and said something because I was kind of offended by someone automatically thinking that it's a crackhead and.
Yeah, like there was no other possibility
Right.
than a crackhead or a trail pirate when the bears are the biggest thieves of them all out there. They do take everything they can get their paws on.
Right. And so when I tried to explain that, I got attacked by, well, not attacked, but people.
Backlash.
Yeah, a lot of people were telling me that I'm pretty much an idiot. And one guy, I don't mean any disrespect, but, when someone says, I don't mean any disrespect and follows it up with disrespect, I take it as disrespect. And I'm not a dude that's going to sit here and listen to that, man. And so it did upset me because there were so many people that they're not even from around here. They have no idea what's going on here. And Mary and I make it a point to watch over the trail and make sure that we know what's going on. And when there's usually a person that's causing issues behind Neal Gap, the manager, Bill, Craig, our our neighbor, they all work there, and we all talk. We were just hiking with Bill yesterday, and he's sitting in my porch the day before. And so, the thing is, man, is we're always up there. We live 9 miles from that gap. And yes, one person tried to make it a point to recite things from books like, "Oh, don't go near, don't sleep at shelters or near roads, or shelters near roads because they're a home." Well, yeah, sure, I'll go with that. But guess what? The next shelter from Bull Gap is 7 miles away, and the other one is 4 miles south. And so, and most people don't go to Blood Mountain Shelter to be homeless, and
You're right.
they go to the accessible shelters like Gooch Gap, Hawk Mountain Shelter. This is where we have found issues down here, are those two shelters usually. We don't normally see much. We hear some stuff at Whitley Gap, man, but there was someone out there for a while. Now, not every homeless dude that is at a shelter is stealing
Right.
your gear, man. They're not there to do that. A lot of them will have their own supply, man, and so you can't.
Stereotype.
Yeah, you can't just start judging people. Most people on trail that are aspiring through hikers, 30% of them are homeless because they've sold their homes, given up everything, sold their car. We've had numerous people that we picked up throughout the year at CarMax when they drive in at Roswell Cumming area. And this is what people do, man. And I find it I'm kind of offended by the way I was spoken to in that post, man. I mean, people literally were so caught up and wanting a crackhead at midnight to steal this kid's bag, dude. And the mother's, I told her, I said, look, there's a bear out there. There's numerous bears out there. They will pick your bag up and take it off. And she's like, well, there's no drag marks. Well, a bear's head is about this big, man, and its jaw is like this. It's going to pick that bag up and walk off with it like a cat with its little toy, man. There's no drag marks. It's just going to take it, and it's not going to select which bag it takes. It's just going to take one, take off, and go to its little spot where it rips the bags apart, man. And I bet somewhere in those woods, if someone looked hard enough, there would be a pile of bags out there somewhere that those bears or that bear has taken.
Yeah.
Now, there is a bear out back there that does that, and his name is API. And so I wanted to, I feel bad for the kid, man.
Of course.
I really do. But when you blame crackheads and trail pirates, you're never going to learn. No one's going to learn, and you're scaring people.
You're also making this trail sound dangerous. You're making it sound like people planning their hikes to come out here. Now, you've probably scared some people away for no reason at all.
And then we're going to have to deal with it on the phone.
Exactly, because we do get phone calls, and we do have people wanting to clarify what's going on out there. And, of course, we can give them the actual facts and let them know what's going on. But
well, there's 300,000 people in that room watching that. I saw like hundreds of hearts and likes, and her post said basically a crackhead stole it, and she went right into, crackhead stole it. Guy was sitting in the parking lot, followed my son up into the woods and in the dark, and you know what I mean, dude. It's like, are you kidding me? And people went right along with it.
Right.
And they sat there and put me down like I would. Some kid called me an overlord and shit, dude. And it's like, dude, I'm not being an overlord. I'm telling the truth because no one else will. I'm telling you the facts of what's going on out here because this is what I do. I am out here every single day watching over this trail. And I've been in that woods 100 times throughout the years, that almost decade that we've been doing this. We've been doing this for 9 years. This is our 9th year right here. I've been in that woods numerous times, going in and talking to the homeless people that people are talking about and scared of, and checked them out. And I've videoed them. I've brought them food numerous times, steaks, whatever. We've hooked them all up. Bill's given them tents, sleeping bags. We all do our part to help people out. Now, this trail should not be like that, honestly.
And I want to say, wrong word was used. Overlord, definitely not. Overseer of the trail, most definitely. All of
Overlords.
us that work here, live here, deal with hikers, the suppliers, everything that has to do with the trail. We're all overseers of the trail. We're not
Stewards.
overlords. We're stewards of the trail. That's right. We try to make sure that everybody has the most current, up-to-date information, and we all do our part to take care of everything that's out there, whether it's the land, the hikers, you name it. We're overseers of this.
We're the people that, when someone's online or they call at 4 or 5, 3 a.m., 5 a.m., whatever it is, 2 p.m., and they want to get out of the woods, we are the first ones that go out there and help them. And whether it's 2 in the morning, 1 in the morning, 4 in the morning, and if we're sleeping, our phones are ringing and we go, and if they need us. And so I find it actually very, I don't know, I'm offended by it.
It is
I'm
a
offended
very
that after
offended.
all these years, man, armchair hikers that barely come out here. When I looked at some of the people's profiles that were literally attacking me and calling me an overlord and saying no disrespect and then disrespecting me. When I hear someone say no disrespect, first thing they're going to do is disrespect a person. And so I found it very offensive, and none of them really had any pictures of them out here. And when I asked them, and none of them really lived here. They were living across the, you know what I mean? The only ones that were with me, well, not the only ones, but there were a few that lived right down the road. They're like, yeah, there's a bear out here. It steals my pillow every night, man. You know what I mean? Not every night, but it steals our hammock. And yeah, and it's like, yeah, because that's what bears do. They get into our garbage. We have to actually keep our garbage inside because the bear will tear it up and it'll walk right in the woods right over here and eat it. And so it's like you have cats, man, that are calling you an overlord and stuff, and it's like, I'm not an overlord. This is what I do for work, man. This is my life. This is what I do. And when I see someone scaring people and using fear or not using fear, but scaring people with their stories when they don't actually know what's going on, they just find a story
No
that will fit
factual
the
evidence. It's just something to glamorize and cause drama and fighting. Get the facts. Ask the people that know. And
The funny thing is, I don't mean to interrupt you, but every time I told this woman what was up, she came up with another excuse. And one of her stories, man, was, when she got deeper into it, while I was talking, she was like, "Oh, and my son left the food, or there was food on the ground. Why didn't they take that?" And it's like, because the bear doesn't know which one to take. Your son may have touched that bag with food, or it just grabbed the first thing.
or it has toiletries in it, and they thought it was safe on the ground, and it's going to smell those too. It's going to snag a bag and go. It's not saying eeny, meeny, miny, mo. It's grabbing and going.
Right, and it's not dragging it. That bear's a 400-pound bear, man. So there's not going to be any drag marks. There's probably not going to be any type of evidence of a bear snatching your stuff, man. It's just going to snatch and go. So that all being said, yeah, I think that people need to watch out for bears because they are literally everywhere. And it's unfortunate that there are people out there that want to make this trail they want to just blame crackheads all of a sudden, man, instead of listening to someone that actually lives and works and breathes trail. They would rather listen to someone that lives in California or Michigan or Maine or wherever, not here, that's for sure. And they don't even really, they're just in a room running their mouth, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're calling me an overlord, but there's 50 other people saying stuff that they want to say, why are they not overlords?
Right, exactly.
Do you know what I mean,
I sure
dude?
do.
What made me an overlord? You know what I mean, man? So
Who made them the experts?
right. The guy was a Reader's Digest. He had like maybe every year it looked like he went on a vacation somewhere like Switzerland, and I thought it was odd. It's like, dude, and I said, hey, dude, this is why he got mad at me. I was like, bro, I said like, well, why don't you show me pictures and videos of yourself out here? Are you here? And that's what pissed him off, man. And so it is what it
Called
is.
them out on it.
Yeah. And so what?
No, go ahead.
No. What?
Go ahead.
Okay. And so the next, I wanna say, I believe that from what I understand, this kid, first of all, don't leave food on the ground, period. And so whether it's you that leaves it on the ground or someone you don't know, be the person, the responsible one to pick that food up and hang it. When you get to a shelter, read through the journals and find out what's going on and what people have written about. Also, know what bear scat looks like, know what bear do out in the woods. They scrape the bark off of trees, they tear up ground trees looking for grubs and other insects. There are telltale signs of bear activity. Pay attention to what's going on out here, and you won't lose your pack, you won't lose your food. I can't say you won't,
Right,
but
the chances are great that you will not if you take the proper procedures to secure it.
and normally, like the primitive camping areas and the shelters are going to be the hot spots. Those bears are going from primitive spot to shelter. That's what they're doing, man. Searching for scraps that people leave behind because people leave stuff behind all the time.
Even if somebody thinks that it's a very small thing or whatever it may be, the bear's sense of smell is so strong, it's going to find that, it's going to smell that, and it's going to investigate. Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm sure everyone has seen it as they've walked up the trail. The amount of garbage that people discard along the trail that they think, I don't even know what they're thinking. I can't put words in there.
Can't speculate on that.
I can't. I don't know what they're thinking, man, but don't do that. And so the bears do come after that stuff. Eggshells, little Jolly Rancher candies, orange rinds, things in the garbage like they think they're burning the mountain houses or the peak packages and half of it's left over. And, they throw their scented toilet paper out. They throw their containers of whatever, lotion. And it's just...
Doesn't matter what it is. If it wasn't there before you went into the woods, it doesn't belong in the woods. Let's all practice leave no trace so that everybody, us and the animals that live there, can enjoy it.
That's right. That's right. We're sharing the space with animals, man, and they're part of the community, actually. I count them as part of the community. And so we have to work with them, man, and leaving garbage in the woods is not working with them. But that's what I had to say about that post and those bears, and there are definitely bear out there. It's unfortunate that that's how that post went, because there's 300,000 people in that room reading that. This is crap. And so, but at the moment, I'm going to move on to the next bear issue that we have in the Smokies. So at the moment, there are 3 shelters in the Smokies that are closed for bear activity: Molly's Ridge, Derrick Knob, and Ice Water Spring Shelter. Plan your Smokies hike accordingly to be prepared for these closures. Now, those shelters are spread far apart. You're going to have to pump it quite a ways because there is no primitive camp or just camping anywhere up there. You have to camp where they say. If you get caught, what is it called, stealth camping, you will get fined. And so don't do it, guys. The Smokies is pretty strict on what they do. They have ridge runners up there all the time and rangers and stuff, man. They're watching what's going on up there. And so just be smart, plan accordingly, and know that that's what's going on up there. All right, so next, I think that's about it for
Well, I
today.
did want to mention one more thing. We had two separate groups of hikers the other day that I dropped at Neil Gap. I did tell them to beware of the copperhead nest there up on Cow Rock.
Yeah, that's right.
And each individual told me that, yes, indeed, they did see some copperheads up there. And, thank you for the heads up. So it's that time of year. Snakes are everywhere, but Cow Rock is definitely a hot spot for the copperhead. So it's all be aware.
And thank you for that. And so the copperhead nest is when you get up on Cow Rock, you're going to see a rock right in the middle of the overlook. Under that rock is a copperhead nest, and it's been there for as long as we've been here.
right.
And so be super aware of that, guys, man. All right. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Not today. I'm good. Thank you.
Beautiful, man. All right, guys, we're going to end it here and call it good. If anyone has any questions, man, give us a jingle. We're here for you. All right, one love, guys. Peace.